You knew about the accounting discrepancies and said nothing. You're fired. Fired? What are you talking
He
about?
knew everything. I can't believe this is happening.
From the quiet study of her Charlotte home, Elara Vance finalized a 9-figure acquisition for her private equity firm, all before her husband, Marcus, finished complaining about his morning coffee. It was a crisp Tuesday morning in early December. Elara, a black woman in her 30s, sat in her organized, professional home office, her face simple and makeup-free in the laptop's reflection. She ended the high-stakes video call with a calm smile. "Excellent work, Mr. Harrison," she said quietly to the CEO on the screen. She closed the laptop, the silence of the upscale but understated house settling around her. She walked into the modern kitchen, where the aroma of expensive coffee, a brand she'd imported, filled the air. Marcus was already there, loosening his tie from the previous day. His recent promotion at Apex Solutions had noticeably inflated his ego. "You wouldn't believe the stress, Lara," he groaned, bypassing the coffee and grabbing a local craft beer from the fridge. "Must be nice working in your pajamas all day." Elara, still in her pajamas, merely smiled softly and began to steep her chamomile tea. She had built her firm, Evergreen Capital, from nothing, all while letting Marcus believe he was the successful man of the house. She did it because she still loved him, and she wanted a life where her bank account didn't define her. That evening, while Marcus watched sports, Elara glanced at their shared bank account. The mortgage payment was due, just as it was every month for the last 3 years. From her phone, she discreetly transferred $5,000 from her private account to their joint one, then paid the mortgage from the joint account. She made sure the confirmation email went to Marcus's inbox. He glanced at his phone. "Handled the mortgage, babe," he announced, not looking up from the game. "Don't worry, I got us." Elara nodded, accepting the contrast between her silent competence and his loud, insecure boasting. Later, Marcus, feeling generous, tossed a heavy envelope onto the kitchen counter. In the corner, his best dress shoes sat, freshly polished for the upcoming annual gala, a gala for the company he had no idea his wife owned. "Oh, the company gala is next week. You should come, I guess," he said casually. He looked her up and down. "Just try to find something decent to wear. These are important people." Elara picks up the heavy, embossed invitation, her expression unreadable as she stares at the Apex Solutions logo, a company she owns 65% of. The moment Elara is holding an invitation to the party of the very company she owns 65%. The irony is unbelievable. If you are still watching and feel the weight of the secret Elara is holding, please comment 8 below to let us know you are here and standing with her. And if you believe in the power of remarkable black women like Elara, subscribe to Black Brilliance and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss a second of the upcoming party. Your support is what keeps us going to bring stories that inspire and celebrate the power within. Now, let's see what Elara does next. The night of the gala arrived, and as Elara stood before her mirror, she wasn't choosing a dress to impress Marcus's colleagues, she was choosing armor. She thought of Marcus's dismissive comment to find something decent, and a small sigh escaped her. She bypassed the flashy, expensive designer gowns hidden in the back of her closet, the ones she wore for board meetings in New York or London. Instead, she chose a timeless, elegant black dress, simple, classic, and perfectly tailored. It was the kind of understated quality her grandmother would have approved of, a style that suited the 60-plus demographic she so often worked with. She wore only her simple diamond earrings. She looked beautiful, but not in a way that screamed for attention. She felt a mix of resignation and a growing flicker of annoyance. She remembered exactly why she hid her wealth, to be loved for herself, not her bank account. But the cost of that privacy was rising. "You ready?" Marcus called from the living room, checking his watch impatiently. Elara walked down the stairs. He glanced up from his phone, his eyes scanning her quickly. "Yeah, that works," he said, nodding curtly. "Let's go, we're late." He didn't say she looked beautiful. The drive to the hotel was cold and silent, punctuated only by the loud leadership podcast Marcus was playing through the car's stereo. He was entirely self-absorbed, mouthing the words of the host, practicing his talking points for the CEO. Elara looked out the window, the city lights of Charlotte blurring past, feeling deeply lonely. She thought of Arthur Harrison, the CEO she spoke with weekly, the only person there who would understand her true worth. She tried one more time to connect, offering a genuine insight. "I was reading about Apex's supply chain issues," she began. "Have they considered?" Marcus huffed, turning the podcast volume down just to talk over it. "Babe, please. Let me handle the work talk tonight. Just smile and grab us drinks, okay?" They pull up to the opulent Riverside Hotel. As Marcus hands the keys to the valet without tipping, he walks ahead into the lobby without looking back, leaving Elara to follow like an afterthought. The ballroom was a sea of crystal chandeliers, expensive suits, and the quiet hum of corporate ambition. For Elara, it felt like stepping into her husband's fantasy world. The grand room at the Riverside Hotel was elegantly decorated for early December, with tasteful white lights and deep green garlands. A live jazz quartet played classics, Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, softly in the corner, a touch Elara herself had suggested to Arthur months ago. Guests mingled, holding champagne flutes and nibbling on small appetizers like shrimp cocktails and mini quiches. Elara remembered Marcus's warning that these were important people, and she watched as he immediately abandoned her, heading straight for his work friends. Elara followed, maintaining her composure. "Hey everyone, this is my wife," Marcus said, gesturing broadly but never using her name. A young, ambitious colleague in a flashy red dress, Chloe Bennett, immediately latched onto Marcus's arm. "Marcus, you are so brilliant," she gushed. She turned to Elara, her eyes sizing her up with dismissive pity. "It must be so nice to just relax at home while your husband does all the hard work." Before Elara could formulate a polite response, Marcus laughed. "Oh, Elara has her little investing hobby," he said, waving his hand. "It's cute." Just then the room shifted. Arthur Harrison, the distinguished, silver-haired CEO, entered the ballroom. Marcus visibly tensed, straightening his tie. Arthur, looking weary of the corporate games, scanned the room, his eyes passing right over the fawning Marcus. His gaze found Elara. He gave her a subtle, respectful nod of acknowledgement, a greeting for his real boss. Elara nodded back, a small, private smile touching her lips. Marcus, busy trying to get Arthur's attention, missed the entire exchange. Spotting Arthur heading his way, Marcus grabbed Elara's arm tightly, his fingers digging into her skin. "Stay quiet, look supportive," he whispered harshly. As Arthur approached, Marcus launched into a loud, fawning speech about company projections, his data clearly skewed. Elara, trying to save Marcus from embarrassing himself with bad data, interjects calmly, "Actually, the Q4 projections for the new microchip division are." Marcus cuts her off, his face dark with fury. "Elara, we are talking business. Can you believe it?" Marcus just trashed Elara, right in front of the CEO, because she tried to save him from embarrassment. The arrogance is unbelievable. If you're still watching and outraged by this act of condescension, please comment 8 below to let us know you're still here and supporting Elara. And if, like us, you're eager to see the truth revealed, the moment when Black Brilliance truly shines, make sure you subscribe to the Black Brilliance channel and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss a second of the upcoming climax. Your support helps us continue to deliver powerful and inspiring stories. Now, let's see how deep Marcus digs his own grave. As the room buzzed with polite conversation, Marcus Reed, fueled by whiskey and a desperate need for validation, decided it was time to put his wife in her place. His fury from Elara interrupting him now boiled over. The jazz quartet had taken a break, and the resulting quiet made Marcus's rising voice even more conspicuous. Arthur Harrison crossed his arms, his disappointment palpable as he watched his insecure manager. "I'm tired of pretending," Marcus slurred, his voice loud enough to turn heads. "I'm out here every day, grinding, building a real career." Chloe Bennett watched with a smirk, enjoying the drama. Marcus gestured dismissively at Elara, who stood there, shocked and humiliated, while she sits at home all day, doing God knows what. Elara, struggling to maintain her composure, whispered, "Marcus, stop. We can talk at home." "No," he shouted, his intoxication and arrogance peaking. "The truth is," he paused, ensuring everyone within earshot was listening, "I'm married to a useless black wife who does nothing but live off my success." The slur hung in the dead silence of the ballroom. 200 people stared. Even Chloe's smirk faltered, realizing he had gone too far. Elara stood frozen, the color drained from her face, tears welling in her eyes as the public humiliation washed over her. Before Marcus can say another word, a calm, authoritative voice cuts through the silence. "That's enough, Marcus." Arthur Harrison steps forward, placing himself between Marcus and Elara. The entire ballroom held its breath. The CEO had stepped in, but no one could predict what would happen next. The deafening silence stretched on. Marcus, still confused and annoyed by Arthur's interruption, stammered, "Mr. Harrison, this is a private matter." Arthur Harrison, calm and dignified, looked at him with cold disappointment. Elara wiped a single tear, her shock turning into cold resolve. She looked at Arthur, not with relief, but with a quiet understanding. The secret was out. This was the explanation for the respectful nod he'd given her earlier. "Marcus, you're proud of your work at Apex Solutions, aren't you?" Arthur asked, his voice steady and firm, like a grandfather setting a boundary. Marcus nodded, confused. "Yes, sir. Of course. Do you know who owns Apex Solutions?" Marcus scoffed. "The board, investors. What does that matter?" Arthur shook his head, his voice carrying across the silent room. "No. The company is majority owned by a private equity firm, Evergreen Capital." Arthur then turned, deliberately, and gestured respectfully toward Elara. "Marcus, I'd like to introduce you to the founder and CEO of Evergreen Capital, Elara Vance." The reveal hit the room. Marcus's face collapsed, moving from confusion to disbelief, then to abject horror. "No, that's not. She works from home," he stammered. In the background, Chloe Bennett vanished into the crowd. Arthur Harrison, acting as the voice of integrity his 60-plus years had earned him, delivered the final, factual blow. "That useless wife, she is the billionaire who signs my paycheck. And yours." Elara, her voice steady and clear, finally speaks. "It's true, Marcus. And I didn't hide it because I was weak. I hid it because I wanted to be loved for who I am, not what I have." With the truth exposed, the partnership that defined Elara's life was over. The only thing left was to close the account. Marcus stammered, his mind reeling as he tried to grasp the new reality. "But our house, the car, I paid for." "No, Marcus," Elara said calmly, her voice cutting through his denial. "I paid 70% of our bills. I paid the mortgage you took credit for just yesterday. I let you think you were the provider because I loved you." "Baby, I didn't know," he begged, finally understanding what he had lost. "I swear I didn't know." "That's the problem," Elara replied, her voice cold with clarity. "You should have respected me anyway." She deliberately pulled her wedding ring from her finger. It felt lighter than she expected. She placed it on the nearest table, next to an abandoned champagne flute. "We're done. My lawyer will contact you." She then turned to the CEO, her demeanor shifting instantly to that of the owner. "Mr. Harrison, I'll be in touch Monday to review Mr. Reed's department." Arthur Harrison simply nodded, his expression one of complete understanding. Elara Vance turned, and without looking back, walked out of the ballroom, her head held high. 6 months later, the summer sun streamed into Elara's real office, a corner suite in the Evergreen Capital headquarters overlooking uptown Charlotte. She was featured in Forbes magazine, having come out publicly as the powerful and now single CEO. Arthur Harrison had officially retired, content that the company was in capable hands. Marcus had been fired the Monday after the gala and had been forced to sell the house, which, of course, was only in Elara's name. Elara, embracing her new public role, was shown in the magazine giving a speech at a local university, announcing a new scholarship fund for minority women in finance, a way to ensure other Black women would never be underestimated. Elara looks out her office window at the Charlotte skyline, smiling, finally at peace, and ready to use her power to help other Black women who have been underestimated. Elara's journey from a silent provider to a celebrated leader reminds us that true worth is never defined by the loud opinions of others. When we set aside judgment based on skin color or appearance, we open the door to true understanding. Like a hidden gem, a person's value shines brightest when we look deeper than the surface. If Elara's story of strength and dignity resonated with your heart, We hope you'll share your reflections in the comments below. To ensure you don't miss powerful stories celebrating resilience, consider joining our community by subscribing to Black Brilliance.